Welcome into the DML Network. It's your boy XPERT, and I got another episode of the bye week here on the DML Network. And I got two OGs in the building today, and we're going to start over here in the NFC. It's the OG T-Pain and those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What's going on, T-Pain?
I'm not chilling this, cooler, waiting for this great show to be released.
No doubt. You've been hitting me up for a while to get on the bye week, so we finally made it happen, and we get to talk about those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How do you feel about the Bucs this season?
I'm going to tell you the truth, man. We've been playing pretty, solid, playing with a chip on our shoulder. We feel like we could beat anybody on any given Sunday. So, we'll do what we do. See how far it takes us.
Yeah, and first I got to just say, man, congrats on the way you've been drafting lately. We've talked before the franchise show starts, on the pre-show, before we start recording. And T-Pain's name always comes up as one of the guys that has an amazing draft. Do you feel like that's where you got to get the advantage, is getting these guys in here as you get ready for high stakes that are ready to play as soon as you draft them?
I mean, most definitely, you always got to get the best man on the board, man. Lately, I've been, they've been falling in my hands, man. So hopefully, the luck continues this offseason and moving forward.
Yeah, and you drafted some monsters for that offensive line, and then you go out and you trade to get Tyron Smith. So how did the trade with HBO, how did that start? And did you feel like you got a good deal from him to get Tyron?
I'm going to tell you the truth, man. We need as much help as possible on our O-line, man. Since Tyron Smith has joined the O-line, man, them boys been blocking. Jameis Winston has good time in the pocket. The running lanes are wide open. So, it turned out great in my favor. I can't complain.
All right, so you brought his name up, Jameis Winston. How many more years do we see him in a Tampa Bay Bucs uniform?
Man, to tell you the truth, man, I gave up on Winston last year, man, but I had no choice but to roll him this year because of cap issues and et cetera. But he's playing pretty good this year, man. So let's see how he finishes the year off, and we go from there.
So he's 28. He still has a good arm. He's got 96 throw power. But you talked about his money situation. He's $15 million. $11 million to your cap. So you really can't cut that kind of salary. But do you feel like you have a guy on the roster, maybe in Brendan McDonald, that could step in if he needed to, if Winston was no longer there? Or do you feel like you need to go get a quarterback?
To tell you the truth, man, right now, I think the best bet for me to go would be to go and get a quarterback, man. I'm not really too happy with anybody besides Winston right now, because any of them other guys haven't shown me really anything. So I would rather go out there and get a quarterback to get this franchise where we need to be.
All right, you got a running back there that not a lot of people talk about when they start talking about the top leading guys in the NFL in the Dynasty. But Ronald Jones having a nice little season. Him and Alfred Griffin giving you that 1-2 punch. Almost 1,000 yards between the two guys. Why is nobody talking about Ronald Jones, the speedster that came out of USC?
I mean, that boy's pretty much sleeping on him right now, man, because you say for the most part he's always hurt, so it's like you can never really get him to play to his full potential, and nobody really know what he's capable of. But hopefully he stays, healthy for the rest of the season, and then we can see what he can do.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason that you brought Alfred Griffin in, the kid from Yale, who's really stepped in and done a good job, kind of playing that backup role to Ronald, and then when he gets hurt. But then you got some decisions you're going to have to make at this wide receiver position. You got, of course, Mike Evans, who's always been that guy that can go up and get the ball, but he's getting up there in years. Do you hate the day when you look up and you don't have Mike Evans out there at wide receiver?
I'm going to tell the truth, yeah, I'm going to always hate that day because Mike Evans is like a threat out there lined up on the field. You got to defend him. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to hate him, but I got Goodwin in the making right now. Goodwin's going to be pretty solid. He'll be around for a few more years. I feel, Evans probably leaves, so I think I'll be pretty much straight. I'm not really, too pressed about receivers right now.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's talk about this defense for a minute. You got some aging guys on the defensive line, but your linebacker crew besides Levante David, who's at 32, but still got 87 acceleration, still a guy that can fly around the football. Do you feel like you got to get younger in some spots on this defensive side of the ball, especially because we are so close to a high-stakes season?
I mean, yeah, for the most part, I feel like, I can use maybe another linebacker or, maybe a backup safety or something for the most part. But, going to high stakes, I think these guys will pretty much be ready because, I feel like I got more younger guys than older guys, so to balance it out.
Yeah, you definitely got some youth over there, but you got a couple guys that are getting up there in age. All right, let's talk schedule for a minute. You're on the bye week. You are currently sitting at 4-3, and nobody's talking about T-Pain and the Buccaneers. Do you like that? You like to be that guy that flies under the radar, that's going to step in. Nobody kind of feels like you're a threat to them when they step in the stadium.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I like to stay under the radar, man, because at the end of the day, that's what makes me play, with a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah. So coming out the bye week, let's talk about a couple of these games. And we'll start. You got another one of the OGs in Taz and those Lions, and then you got the Bengals. Do you feel like those are two winnable games for the Bucs to get you to 6-3 and maybe start making some noise in the NFC?
I mean, no doubt. I can't, take this label of win to any user because any user could beat you on any given time nowadays in the DML. But most definitely, I'm going to definitely go out there, get myself 2 wins against those two opponents out there. Maybe anybody want to give myself some money games.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to talk about this next one. You got the Commish and the Atlanta Falcons. What do you feel about Deion and those Falcons? Do you feel like he's a different team this year? Being a division mate, you get to see him twice a year, and this is going to be the first matchup in Week 11. Do you feel like you got his number, or is that a battle that you got to go back and forth with? It's always fun in the chat when you two are on the schedule. Do you feel like this is your year to put Deion down?
I mean, no doubt, man. Deion definitely got a rolling over there in Atlanta, man. This is the best I've seen him play ever. So, I don't expect to go in there and not to be easy, but, hey, I'm going to bring it. This is a different team now. Deion got to see me.
Yeah, I like to hear that. All right, man. Do we see the Bucs in the playoffs?
It's a little too early. We're not going to be talking about playoffs. My division it goes back and forth, so you never know.
Tough.
But hey, I'm going to always try to aim to get there, man. I would love to be in the playoffs, but it's been so long or forever.
I mean, you're in the hunt though. You're sitting at 4-3. You're definitely in the hunt to make it over there to the NFC. You got some guys over there. Of course, you got Addy 5 in the division who's still balling with those Saints, and then Deion at 5-2. Who's really surprised a lot of people this year with the way he's turned that team around. With the way Deion's playing now, do you feel like y'all are the toughest division in the Dynasty?
I'm going to tell you the truth, man. When you got a 3-time Super Bowl champion division, man, how can you not say you're the toughest division, And then the NFL right now, because it's like, you got the Saints that's 3-peat, the man can do a 4-peat. Deion's balling right now, and you can't forget about C-Rob, who's, a ball out there as well. So, yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are in the y'all are in the nickname division. So, you got the bully in Addy 5. You got the comeback king in C-Rob. You got the lead dog over there with the Atlanta Falcons. What is T-Pain's nickname with these Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
That's a good one. That's a real good one, man. I haven't thought about one yet, but
we gotta get a nickname.
I figure out one,
yeah,
it will be in the chat.
we gotta get a nickname. So Dynasty, it's on you. We gotta get a nickname for T-Pain and these Bucks over there in Tampa Bay because he's balling. All right, man. What do you got for the Dynasty before you get out of here?
Man, all I gotta say is, man, y'all boys just watch out for me on the schedule, man, because I'm bringing the heat, man. Stay tuned.
Yeah, the OG. Y'all stop sleeping on my homie T-Pain. All right, man. Always a pleasure when we get to do a show together. Appreciate you taking some time out your day and jumping on the bye week.
No doubt, man.
All right, guys. That is T-Pain and those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to let him get out of here and get back to his Thursday night. All right. Next up, over in the AFC, it's the OG. It's none other then the OG Chris Murray and those Cleveland Browns. Chris Murray, what is going on?
What's going on, man? Happy to be here on the bye week.
All right, man. We gonna go a whole different route on the bye week with you and the Cleveland Browns. First off, let's talk walk the line for a minute. So people that aren't Dynasty historians, you started Walk the Line many years ago. And it was a very successful show. And then, it kind of died out. And I started the show with Lord Farquaad. And, we started to put predictions out. What made you get that fire back to bring Walk the Line back up?
I think the number one thing was to bring back the level of competition and, pretty much the lead, because just sitting there having a user or me, project that a user is going to lose a certain game, it puts a little bit of chip on your shoulder for you to bring a little bit of extra competitiveness to the game. So that's why I was like, I sat down, I was like, man, you know what? Let's spice the lead up, man. Let me bring Walk the Line back, man, to get that competitiveness back into the league, because a lot of guys, man, was just rolling over and just taking it, man, to be honest.
Yeah. And what's been the reception from the guys in the Dynasty? I'm gonna tell you, I tell you all the time, man, it's a fire show. I can't wait to hear it, especially when you pick against me. I mean, like you say, it just gives me that extra motivation. Or, if you tell me it's gonna be a close game or something like that, I get that motivation. But what's been the reception from the guys in the Dynasty?
Some guys, they using it as, like you just said, extra motivation. Some guys just like, it is what it is. They're not even paying attention to it. But, we're doing it. I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it. I'm not looking for, 1,000 views or anything like that. I'm just doing it because I like doing it. I like getting on the air and just putting it out there who I think going to win, who I think is actually winning, and who I think is just pretending. Like, that's just me, so.
All right, so how can guys get on Walk the Line with Chris Murray?
Easy, man. Just simply, hit me in the DM. We always look for some new voices to come on, to sit there and break down who they think going to win, who they think going to lose, and just talk they smack, man. So if I drop a show pretty much every 2 shows. Then I take like a week break, then I bring back 2 more shows. So, if that could fit your schedule, you just hit me with a DM, man. Just jump on, come on, get your prediction on who you think pretending or who you think is the real deal in the DML.
All right, let's talk one more thing before we get to these Browns. You got accused of pulling the plug in your game. And in the chat, it was, a little bit back and forth of, you got a history of this. You now have the opportunity right here on the bye week to let guys know. And for the record, your homie XPERT know for a fact that the OG ain't pulling the plug. It ain't that serious to us. When it get that serious to us, we'll just be out the league. We just won't play Madden no more. But go ahead. I'm going to give you a chance to let everybody know how you truly feel about people accusing you of pulling the plug.
This is the thing right here, man. Like, I don't give a fuck what nobody has to say about me, because this is a video game. If it gets to the point where I gotta feel like I have to pull a plug or do anything crazy, I'm just gonna stop playing the game, because I'm too emotionally tied into the game. We got our little ball munchers in the league that just sit around and just observe everything in the league and just ball munch, just simple as that. So, of course, one of the guys that's in my division is part of whatever, I don't care. But the game disconnect, So before when they disconnected beforehand with me and him, it was no problems, no issue with boosting the Ravens,
Yeah.
But when we took it to the main chat, it just like people just add fuel to the fire. So he never accused me, but he just saying that he hoped that I didn't do it. But just to clear the air, I'm not pulling no plug. Mad, EA, it has their days when they just want to fuck up. As simple as that. When you got the ball munchers in the background, when certain users' games disconnect, there they go. Post a screenshot. Post this, post that. But then when other users' stuff disconnect, they quiet as church mouses. I don't got time to be sitting here pulling a plug or doing this, doing that. It's not that deep for me. It's just a video game. Now, if you look at, I just lost the skill tree. Nothing, the Bills, whatever, they had they day when they could ball out and just come out and compete with the best of them.
Hey, he's
But
beat expert.
If I was to pull a plug, won't you think I would have pulled the plug on that game? Or when I lost the flare, like, come on, man, like it's not that deep to me, you know, like I just can't. It's not that deep. Like, dude, we just got our ball munchers, man. They just sit in the background and just ball munch, man. Like, it's crazy. It's really ridiculous because they making it way deeper than what it gotta be. Like, this shit is a video game. Like, I've been preaching and saying this all cycle. This the most I ever said that since I've been in the DML, and it's just crazy. Dudes is just they emotionally invested into this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and we're not even in high stakes yet.
That's the kicker.
We still got 4 seasons left.
Like, and that's my thing. Like I said, man. Like, nobody, as far as like T-Pain, never accused me of it. I mean, Bruce never accused me of it. It's just the ball munches in the background. Like, I tell people, like, this is me. If I'm the type of person where as though if I got something to say to you, I say it to your DM. If you want to bring it to the main chat, I'll bring that same exact energy, that same fire. Yeah. I'm not going to be in a DM, you know, like, oh, my fault, bro, you know, my bad. And then when I come into the DM, I'm at the main chat, I'm like, yeah, man, shut your whole ass up. Like, come on, man. Like, it's crazy. I'm just saying that what Madden does to people. Madden brings out people's true tendencies, man. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But the OG ain't pulling no plug, man. Like I said, man, it's just not that deep to me, man. Like, my game disconnect. I always hit guys in the DM. Yeah. You know, it's been times when people games disconnected on me. I never accused them. It's just like, yo, load back up. Like I told T-Pain, even when me and him was going back and forth, I explained it. I mean, we was going back and forth. I understood where he was coming from. I told him I was going to give you the first W, but he just started talking crazy. But no, if you want to talk crazy, now we going to say we're going to play it again, or it's going to be a fair sum. You know, after that, we had our heated little conversation. Yep. I still hit him in the DM like, yo, T-Pain, you want to jump on the show? He said no. Like, it's like dudes be taking this shit way too deep. It's not that deep to me, man. It's
see, and that's the great thing. You know, guys like T-Pain that have been around a long time, you know, we could go at it. Hey, T-Pain and I have gone at it hardcore sometimes. Like, we've been at it. But then we get in the DM, it's all love, you know, and that's how we are with the OGs. Because this truly is a brotherhood. Even Chris Murray and I have got into it before in the main chat. But then in the DM, it's all love. It's just, you know, that's part of Madden. That's what we do. All right. Now let's talk about what you came here for. And let's talk about what you're going to do to send Lamar Jackson to Jacksonville and what picks you need to make that happen. All right. Let's talk some Cleveland Browns. Lamar Jackson. Is he the real deal? Because the guy is balling right now.
Yeah, man, Lamar, man, it's just like I gotta figure out, you know, to get back down to the basics. Like, every season, I'm finding out what's working as far as like combining Lamar with John Ross and fitting other guys in. But then I try to sprinkle some new stuff in. Man, I just got to get back down to the basics. But Lamar is definitely the real deal. I'm telling you, if you don't pay attention to that guy, you know what I mean, and you don't sit there and drop somebody in spy coverage, he's gonna tear you up. Man. That's just fact.
All right, this year he's thrown 9 interceptions to only 3 touchdowns. Is that just a product of sometimes you rush the ball, and you know, of course, you're trying to get it deep down the field to your homie John Ross, who only has 1 touchdown this year? What do you have to do to get this offense turned around where you start putting some points on the board with these high-powered weapons that you got?
Yeah, I actually, my offense was clicking the first, you know, 3 games, but first 2 games in the season, but then I lost one of my offensive linemen. So if anybody in the DML, anybody that plays Madden, it's hard. You got a core piece, especially on the O-line, to fit a piece in there. You know, if you ain't got the right depth, as far as in the O-line position, it's hard to really make it gel right. So my offensive line, man, losing my center, I just got exposed, and dudes was just sending that firepower at Lamar to where, I mean, he was running for dear life every single snap. So, you know, I got my offensive lineman back. You know, I got my core guys back on my offensive line healthy. So I'm just looking right now to see what works, what don't work. Right now, we got to sit Lamar for the next 2 couple games, but we gonna win both games. I'm putting that chip on my shoulder. But we gonna just figure out what works, man. You already know we gotta get back to the basics, and the basics meaning give John Ross the ball 105% of the game. Simple as that. Yeah,
and do you have to get this running game going? You got Nick Chubb in that backfield, And he's got all the ratings to be a great running back, but he's just never found that one thing that he can do really well, whether it's outside run or inside run, catch the ball out the backfield. And he's actually your second leading rusher on the team right now, behind your quarterback in Lamar Jackson. Now, of course, Lamar Jackson's got 91 speed, 93 excel at QB, which is just utterly unfair and ridiculous. But what do you got to do to get this guy Nick Chubb going for this Cleveland Browns team?
Nick Chubb gotta stay healthy. That's the number one thing, man. Like Nick Chubb, the thing about Nick Chubb, if you tune into any of our games, this guy can be an elite running back in the DML, but he just can't stay healthy. You know, soon when I call it the 50 mark, soon when Nick Chubb gets near the 50 yard, he always goes out on an injury. Like whether it's a muscle cramp, whatever. Like I call it the 50 mark every time. That's why I utilize him the way I do. Like I don't know if I want to sit there and risk losing him, because Lamar right now, to be honest, Lamar is our running back. Last year, you know, he ran over, I think, for over 1,000 yards and passed for over 3,000. So Lamar is the running back, but Nick Chubb, he just can't stay healthy. But if he can stay healthy, he definitely can evolve into an elite running back in the DML. But we a pass first team anyway, so
that's
Nick
true.
Chubb just knows what to do.
That's true. So let's talk about this offense. You have one of the youngest offensive lines in the entire DML. You have one left tackle, he's over 30. The rest of your offensive line, 24, 21, 22, 21. Are you building a high-stakes monster right now in Cleveland on this line?
Yep, definitely for sure. Like that's right now is my main focus point going into high stakes, the offensive line. I mean, that's it. Because without a solid offensive line, man, you cannot do anything on offense, just flat out. And we learned that our previous two games in the DML, like Lamar Jackson couldn't do a lick of anything. Like I'm talking about, soon I hiked the ball, I was running for dear life. I think I broke my R2 button, to be honest, man. Like, 'cause it's crazy, man. But that's my main focal point right now. Build my offensive line, and those four guys that you just mentioned, well, the three guys you just mentioned, are the centerpieces of that. Yeah,
and all talent all up and down that offensive line. But on the defensive side, you got some guys that are getting up there in years. Your linebacker position needs a couple overhauls. What on this defense is the one piece you think turns this Cleveland Browns team around to be that defensive team that you used to have, where you felt like you could just hold guys to under 20 points?
Right, I'm telling you right now, it's the defensive line, man. We got Joey Bosa, who's a beast, but when you got somebody IDing the mic and double team him every play, and guys are not winning that one-on-one matchup, that's a problem. You know, so right now I think just taking, you know, pieces of everybody else's puzzle in the DML, like out there in Atlanta, you got the sack, but you really can't double team one of those guys, because if you double team one, you leave another one-on-one, and they're beating it. You know, so you gotta sit there. In my opinion, in this man, you gotta have a solid defensive line, because once you get that pressure, your cornerbacks, you can have bums out there just sitting on the island. They're gonna make plays because guys are gonna be rushing their reads and making mistakes. So I definitely think that we gotta find another solid defensive lineman to pair with Ajobi and Nick and Bosa. If we find that, our secondary is solid. Our linebackers, they're not the best, but they can make plays. And we got Peppers back there. We got my man Bradley back there, who will, if you come across that middle, they're gonna put a licking on you. So I think that we gotta find a solid right now defensive lineman, and we'll be good to go.
The OG out here giving out free chicken on the bye week. All right, let's talk schedule. You started 3-0, started looking really, really good. Had two big wins versus the Jets and the Bengals. Of course, you beat Flair, but then you lose the next three. What are you doing in these next couple games? Because you got the Panthers coming up next with no Lamar Jackson. You got the Bengals in the rematch, and then you got Dion and those Falcons. What does Chris Murray got to do to get this Browns team back into the playoffs and winning this division where he knows he needs to be?
I gotta take it one game at a time. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I'm just gonna be flat out honest. When I looked at my schedule, I jumped ahead to the important games. Like I was like, I'm gonna beat this dude. I'm gonna beat this dude. And what I was doing was, I would eat like, some guys can understand this. You know how you play certain users, you get outside your game plan, like you just throwing the ball deep,
Yeah.
You know, you just be blitzing all over the place.
Yeah.
And you just be doing wild stuff. But you know, like, I could beat this dude. Like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And then you got the certain users that you got to actually sit down with and actually think. Like you are one of them users. Like, when I come out and play you, I got to think. Like, all right, I can't sit here and try to chuck the ball down the field to John Ross 100 times. I can't turn the ball over 3 times and still feel confident I'm going to win this game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I was playing certain guys, it just was like, all right, man, I can throw the ball to John Ross 100 times, and it was coming back to bite me in my ass flat out. Like, skill tree,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, like, I was trying to drop 50 on his head, but I was trying to do way too much. And shout out to him because he won the game.
Yep.
You know, T-Pain, before our game disconnect, T-Pain the same exact way. I was like, man, I'm about to try to drop 50 on T-Pain head. And he came out and he was beating our ass. Like, so I think moving forward, I just gotta take it one game at a time, man. Just no matter who I'm playing, stick to my game plan.
All right, so let's take it one game at a time. Panthers game, is that a W?
I'm gonna watching C-Rod play. There's some things that I've seen on both sides of the field and on offense and defense that I can expose. It's gonna be a tough matchup, you know, because he's one of those users, man. Like he's not one-dimensional. He knows how to pass the ball and knows how to run it. So my team got to just come out and play our game plan. If we can execute our game plan, it's going to be tough without Lamar Jackson, man.
Yeah.
But we got the Bull Groves back there who passed for, I think, 4,500 yards, 30-something touchdowns. You know, so he not no average Joe. You know what to do. It's going to be a shootout. And I think if I can come out and execute my game plan, play my game, it's a W.
Yeah. We're in our walk the line mode here for the rest of your schedule. The rematch with the big homie and the Bengals you got to go to him. Is that a W?
Man, the big homie, man, it depends on what Bengals team we get. 'Cause that sometimes when I be playing him, man,
He be
like,
crazy,
hey.
don't he?
People like, God damn, like that. Sometimes when I play, I'm like, this is the same guy. But, you know, like I said, we execute our game plan, I'm getting that W.
All right, tough games coming up. The head commish, Nasty Noop and those Falcons.
I can't let Deion beat me, man. Like, I can't. I got to take that. That right there is going to be a playoff atmosphere game, man. I beat him already with my Cleveland Browns. So I know he's game planning right now. We ain't nowhere near our game, but that's a W2, man. That's a W2.
I think XPERT and Jay are gonna have to call that game on the Twitch channel live. All right, next up,
That's going.
Freddie Jackson and those Patriots.
The schemer, man. Watching him play, man. He runs a lot of wild stuff, man. So I'm gonna have to go back. I'm just being honest and check the film out on him because I wasn't able to tune into that much of his game. So, but his defense, I don't think his defense that solid, man. I think he's going to come out and try to focus just on shutting down John Ross, and Lamar Jackson will tear him up. So that's a W2.
All right, you got to come to Jacksonville. I'm sorry, I'm coming to you in Cleveland. The Jaguars.
This game right here, I'm telling you right now. This game right here, yo. This being for the honest.
Circle
You are. What the hell is his name, man? When I was the Browns, when I was the Bears. What is his name? Snag. Every year, Snags was not comparing you to him, but you know, as far as the hump.
Yeah.
Every year, Snags was knocking my head off. Then Addy with those Bengals knocking my head off. In order for me to make any sort of run at a banner, I got to figure out how to get over this hurdle, man, and I got to beat the Jaguars. Anybody else, I'm saying right now, my focus point right now is beating the Jags. So this right here, man, like, I got to stick to the game plan because it's going to be a wild game, man. Like, but I'm confident in this joint, man. Like, cause I seen the mistakes that I was doing. I was overthinking it. You know, if I come out just calm, cool, collective, play my game how I play it, man, I think my guys going to pull it out this year, man. Yeah. I hope I get hurt out there in Jacksonville, though. I mean, Leonard Fournette, please, y'all, bounce something.
Jags not playing very well right now. We've lost 2 in a row, but next up, it's the co-commish. It's Tone Dog and those Raiders.
Me and Tone split. Tone beat one. He beat me one season. I beat him once. We 1-1 right now.
Right.
I don't think he got the firepower right now. I know how Tone plays. I got his stuff down packed, man. Yeah. I know what they're zeroing on, so that's a W right there.
All right. Low key, the hottest guy in the DML right now. Tight work in the Dolphins.
Man. Tight work. I haven't played tight work in a minute, but I know the formula to beat me. I mean, if you can execute that formula, which I ain't gonna say. You can dismantle me. So I'm like my guy's gonna come out, man. I gotta try to get some confident boosters on my D line, but I know what the game plan is to beat him. So yeah, I'm marking it as a W too.
All right, the 3-time champ, Addy 5 and those Saints.
Ooh, this is another game right here, man, that I want to win. These are games. My schedule is games right here, man, that is going to show if we battle tested or not, flat out.
Right.
Ed is a guy that flats out. That offense is just crazy, but then the defense is just crazier.
Yeah.
So, it's a toss-up. But I'm confident in if I can come out.
I didn't expect you to say a L anywhere on this schedule, so just go ahead and count it as a W. Addy don't expect you to count it as an L, so.
Yeah, that's a W right there, man. My guys come out. Listen, how I feel any given Sunday, man. If I can come out and execute my game plan, it's a W. Like, I don't care who I'm playing, but that's a W2 for Addy, man.
Okay, King Flair and the Steelers. Now, I'm not going to ask you W or L because I know you expect to win that game. You almost gave him the 50-piece in week 1 and was fixing to ask him what kind of sauce he wanted with his nuggets. Do you finish that off and get the extra 5 points and put 50 on King Flair?
Yo, I'm about to tell y'all right now, dog. I'm gonna tell you right now, the most nervous games is playing him in HBO, yo. Because for some reason, it's crazy. For some reason, man, you know what you can do.
Right.
Like, you know what Flair is going to do.
Right.
You know what ACO is going to do. But man, just be blushing them sometimes to the point where they make the game more stressful than what it has to be. So with Flair, man, I'm gonna give Flair. I'm gonna probably give him like a 40-piece. I'm gonna give him like a 40-piece because it's bound to happen. But we definitely going for the 50-piece. Now I'm trying to go for the 65-piece.
Wow. All right. Then the game I know you got circled. It's week 17. It's B. Jeezy, Bruce, and those Ravens. And you have to go to Baltimore to play him. And he kind of gave you a loss earlier in the season that I know you felt you should have won. Is this the game right here that you're going to make a statement as you go into the playoffs when you get to play Bruce?
Yeah, man, this is good. This is going to be a game, man. Every single game from the Panthers to this last game versus Bruce is a playoff atmospheric game, flat out. Bruce, strictly defensive-minded coach, man. Like, that defense in Baltimore, he's built something special. That first game is definitely a game I think that I should have won. But he's a guy that's playing with a chip on the shoulder too, man. But for that game, he hasn't beaten. So he's a guy that's going to bring it, and my guys are going to bring it too. And just looking at how we both play, we got each other's stuff down pat, man. And I'm just going to have to figure out some new stuff they showed to pretty much bring to the game on this one. And of course, I'm going to take this W, man. I need that W, that motivation going into the playoffs.
All right, what do you got for the Dynasty before we let you get out of here?
Yo, man, if it don't apply, let it fly. The ratting, the tattletelling, the crying, the whining, it's not that deep. Don't let your blood pressure be rising through the roof over some Madden, man. Just relax. Play the game. You already got enough BS going on with the game. Just chill. Like, because the crying and whining, just save it for high speed. It's crazy, man. Let's keep it fun. Like, let's stop feeling like it's a shadow over somebody every single time. Like, you just waiting. Like, we got the little ball. We got enough ball munching.
Yeah.
Like, chill and relax, man. Like, let's just play the game, enjoy the game. If somebody does do something out of pocket, go to the DM as a man first and say something to them versus running to the commission or running somewhere in the DM whining about or check. Just DM that man. I mean, like, be a man first. Like, please. Like, hey.
All right, the OG Chris Murray, man. Appreciate you jumping on the bye week, man. Always a pleasure when we get to sit down and do a show together.
Man, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt. That's the OG Chris Murray and his Cleveland Browns. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the bye week. On behalf of the DML Network, it's your boy XPERT, and I'm out.